Oh yes, Denitra Brown sent me an email stating that you were responsible for giving me some records regarding my terminated child custody rights that were terminated in corruption.
Yes, ma'am. Just give me a second, okay?
Okay, right. Is it the versus my child custody rights were terminated in corruption? I don't have access
No,
to
I'm
my
just saying
child.
that the case is Attorney General versus case Michael.
I don't know how it is. I wasn't able to really appear at court. I don't know what's going
What
on in multiple
documents do
different
you need?
environments. All I know is that my rights were terminated in corruption, and I haven't been able to tell anyone or get anything done for 10 years.
And what
Everybody I
documents do
could
you
come
need?
in contact with wants to be accomplice. So I don't know. I'm not able to properly view the records or other parties. I was given records a couple times, and I don't know if they were counterfeit and crimes were being committed. So I don't know if it's going to say Michael or what's on the record.
Okay, ma'am. So what documents do you need?
The terminated child custody rights. I'm not. I think I would assume that only one parent has their child custody rights terminated in corruption.
And are you gonna pick them up in person, or are you gonna send, or you want to send a request to our email?
I've already sent a request. You need another one? It's been happening years,
Uh,
sir.
did, did you make the payment already?
What is the payment amount?
You think you sent the email request, right? They should already send you a cost estimate.
No, I get defrauded out of funds all the time. I send it to Denitra Brown. How much is? I don't know how much it costs.
Okay. So you have two options. You can either come in person and obtain those copies, or you can send a request to our email. I'll give you the email right now. You just tell them what documents you need. They'll send you a cost estimate. You pay online, and then they'll send you your documents. So those are the two options that you have.
Okay, 1 moment. Okay, now where do I send the request?
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
It's D as in David, C as in cat, records at dallascounty.org.
Who do I report that? DallasCounty.org?
DC records at dallascounty.org.
And that's for reporting that you guys falsified documentation that's just off the table. It can't be done.
What was that, ma'am?
As for reporting that the court's crimes and that you falsified documentation as a court and committed crimes and altered court documents that just can't be done.
You're requesting documents, right?
Right, but my
Yes.
question is, as far as requesting informing someone that these records are falsified, and you guys repeatedly have racked up felonies, is that impossible for that to be done?
If you need to file a claim, you will have to go to the police department. But only thing that I could tell you, only thing that I do is we provide documents and copies of documents.
Right, but I mean, I thought that would be, integrity issues if someone's reporting that you have a document that's fraudulent and someone has altered it, and then when the court makes it impossible for someone to repeatedly report that 10 years. I thought that those were
Yes, I don't
conspiracy
know who
charges
you guys
for
is.
all
I
above
mean, like I
parties.
told you, we're only the records department.
I
We don't
know,
provide
but if you're the
documents.
records
Anything else
department and you're giving me
that you have
fraud, I
need that
mean,
you need a
what do I
question,
do
we
with
can do.
that? If you're the records department and you're handing me a crime, and I can't report to you that what you're giving me is a crime, then what am I supposed to do with that?
I don't know what
You
crime you
are
were committing. I can
demanding
give
that
you
I
the
take your
information, the
crime
email
and then
information.
trapping me in the fact that you're about to give me fraud.
Yeah, I'm just providing you the email information so you can obtain those records. And like I told you, you guys will come down here. Anything else about the crime, then you could probably seek legal advice. But that's all I could tell you.
But as
Because I
far
don't
as
know
giving
what
me the
crime or
record,
what
don't you
fraudulent
have
you
to
are speaking of.
report if someone's telling you that this is altered documentation?
What
You
was that, ma'am?
enforce that someone gets a crime, a record. You can't. No one can report to you. Look, your document is altered. This is counterfeit.
You will have to take up. You have to take that to the court because we only provide what's scanned in by the court. We have nothing to do with your case, the records department, which you're speaking to. Anything about anything being altered or falsified, you will have to contact the court. So like I told you, I can only give you the information so you could send a request to obtain those records, or you could come in person. Anything else, you have to provide it. You're gonna have to take it over to court
Yeah, for
or get
10
legal
years,
advice.
everybody has an alibi, on why, people haven't had accountability for their charges. And I think that maybe a problem is the pathological lies. No one is being held accountable for integrity issues, because if someone is reporting to you that you're about to give them fraud and a crime, you have responsibilities. And repeatedly
Anything else
people
that
aren't
that I
doing
can
that.
help you with?
And then they want to start arguments and bully me and mistreat me over crimes that they repeatedly keep committing. But I'm trapped in
And
it.
I apologize for that, but
I
like I
thank
told
you
you,
for
I can
giving me
only
the
help you
records,
with
because
obtaining the
Army's full of
records. Anything else
locations,
I can help you
punish
with?
me, send me to jail, violate me, and I can't get them, period. And that's how I'm treated
Okay.
and have been treated years. So I'll give you the documentation. How will I know how much I need to pay? Is that a secret? Because I get defrauded out of funds all the time and haven't been able to stop that
Once
either.
once they answer you, once they send the email, you tell them what documents you need. They'll send you a cost estimate with the link. You pay online, and that's it.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand. So,
Yes.
okay, I just want to make sure I understand and have clarity. So I asked for the records, was ready to speak with Denitra. Denitra told me to put a request in and then give her all the records, all the information. I gave it to Denitra. Denitra said she forwarded it over to you. Now I got to do a request again to go start just from the drawing board back to where I started.
Like I told you, you could call Denitra again.
I'm just trying to get clarity because I'm not really sure of the relevancy of her forwarding you all my information. I'm just not really sure of the relevancy of me sending her all my information. Then she forwarded it over to you. What was the relevancy of that if nothing was done with it?
She should forward it to me because we're the records department and we provide the documents. That's it. Anything else that
Right, but what was the relevancy of me doing all that already to get nowhere?
Okay, man, you can speak to Denitra again if you would.
I'm just not understanding what was the relevancy of sending my information to her and then her sending her my information to you for me to have to send it again.
You will have to speak with her.
I'm speaking with you. What was the relevancy of her sending you my information if I still couldn't get it?
And like I told you, and I'm gonna tell you again, we're the records department. We only provide records to the public. Anything else that you're going through, which I apologize, that you're going through, you will have to deal with the court because I have no idea what you're going through.
You do, because I reported to you that you're about to give me fraud. You do have information, and my rights were terminated, and policies weren't followed. A judge that I've never met, and nobody else apparently hasn't ever met either, because we can't find her. You are fully aware I'm communicating it with you, and if the feds were ever to investigate, hopefully they will. You can't use the alibi that you didn't know because I'm communicating with you. I'll put it in the email. So then you have evidence of what I'm stating. I don't want people to repeatedly use the alibi to not get charges for crimes they repeatedly commit. I don't know. I didn't know. If you see that a judge that you've never met terminated my child custody rights, then you do know. If you know that judge isn't with the court and you have never heard of her, then that's how it's done when you're government. You just send the call. I'm dying. Walk off. Walk off. My child got here. My child got to leave. Don't investigate. Don't call her back. That's how it's done. So I don't know what's happening. Just to spin my wheels so I get nowhere.
Good morning, 255. Can you please hold?
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. For the dismissal for one of prosecution?
Yes.
I wasn't there. I don't know what that means. What is one of prosecution?
That means it was the case was dismissed that day.
Okay, so it's dismissed, so my child custody rights were terminated?
That I'm not sure. What I can do is
okay, so it's been a secret. I get it. I don't have rights to my records. So, and people just pathologically lie and repeatedly are not held accountable. So I don't know how to combat that. Has been a secret on how am I being kept away from my child. So the lies aren't just really coming. So if I'm paying for records and it's a secret on the records I'm getting, that repeatedly keeps defrauding me out of funds.
I understand, ma'am. So the order to dismiss for want of prosecution just basically just says that they dismiss the case. They dismiss the motion for post-judgment, motion to appoint an attorney, and re-examine the case. That is what was dismissed. Now, what I can do is I can get you down to the records department. You can tell them your case number and the documents that you're looking for, and then those would be the documents that they can get to you.
Okay, I'm not really understanding. So you have a document that said that it was dismissed July 11th, which is what I had knowledge of, and then it changed when I wasn't even present. So then what do I do if you don't have the document I'm looking for? I don't want to waste my time. How am
Which
I going to
document are you
combat
looking
that
for?
you don't have the records that I need and then paying for records
Which
that you
document are
won't
you
tell
looking
me if
for,
you
man?
have?
Which document are you exactly
I
looking for?
did confirm to inform you that I wanted the documentation on my rights being terminated in corruption. And I gave you the information. And what was the number when I gave you my name?
It's DF97011124.
So the problem of it is they never furnished that document. They said it was terminated. Then the lady got a call, and then she said that she couldn't give me my document, and she said that it was it went back to the original agreement. Someone called her. I guess I was being illegally monitored, and then they called her and interrupted our conversation, and giving me the paperwork. So then she wouldn't give me the paperwork, and then all of a sudden my child custody rights were terminated from a judge that I never met, and nobody can supply me information on where she's at, and haven't been held accountable for their actions. Okay.
Okay. And that's for the custody. Then you have another order in here from December 23rd of 2010.
We're speaking about the terminated child custody rights. That's
So
what
the
we were
one
concentrating
from
on.
so the one from
There's multiple different.
2019.
There's multiple different places. Children that I had my rights terminated.
So the one from 2010, it looks like it was just for child support.
I'm not. I'm wanting to. I'm just really. There's a disconnect, but I have to be treated like this. So if you let me know when we can concentrate on the terminated child custody rights that I'm asking you about.
Okay, so that's the one from 2019.
Okay. So when was you have the record for my child custody rights being terminated?
It says 8/2/2019, and it does rule that Michael Cage is the sole managing conservative, and you were appointed as possessionary conservative.
What is possessionary conservative? What does that mean?
That I'm not sure. I can get you down to the law library, and they can maybe assist you on what that explanation is.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand. So July, it went back to my me having full parental rights because it closed out. Okay, that happened in July, and then Judge Mary Murphy came in, a judge that you've never met and I never met, terminated my child custody rights when I was in jail on false charges. That's what happened. So 1 month in July, you guys didn't want your charges, and then when Kim Cooks and Beecham or whatever didn't want their charges, so it went back to my legal custodial rights. Then money was passed and tables were turned, leaving me sitting and things reporting to the police. I can't see my child, and my rights were reverted back to they were before these crimes were committed. Then to money and money was passed. Then this Judge Mary Murphy that no one can find terminated my rights, ranked up all kind of felonies and people around her, not following all kind of family codes, terminated my rights, and we can't find her. So can you explain, if it was dismissed, how did Judge Mary Murphy come from nowhere and terminate parental rights and haven't got charges?
That order was done in 2019. The case the one that was dismissed was when they tried to re-examine the case in 2021, 2023.
I don't know what you're speaking of because no, I don't get my mail. I don't have no clue what you're talking about. So all I know is that Mary Murphy How into
She's the
when?
one that
So
signed the
when?
order in 2019, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
She's the one that signed the order in 2019.
I'm not. I don't really. If in July it was dismissed, isn't it impossible for her to terminate my rights?
No.
How
That
if
was
I
the
never
order
met
that was
her?
already established, ma'am. What I'm saying is when they tried to redo this case in
No, I'm asking
2021.
for July 10th if it was dismissed and it reverted back to my parental rights. Is that correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay, what was dismissed in July?
The motion that was brought in 2021 to re-examine this case.
So that happened in 2019?
No.
In July of 2019. July of 2019, what happened?
There was nothing in July of 2019. I said it was in August of 2019.
July, you said in July 11 of 2019 when the lady told me
No,
that it
that was
reverted back.
2023, ma'am. That was for a dismissal order.
No, July. I came in. Came in, and the
Ma'am,
lady said that it
I'm showing
reverted.
it right now in the case, ma'am.
Okay, so now it has disappeared. You told me it was a one of something, and I said I don't know what that is. What did you tell me it was a one of something?
That is from 2023, July 11th of 2023.
Okay, what was that?
That was the order to dismiss the motion post judgment that was brought in 2021.
So what is that? A motion to dismiss? What does that mean? In 20? What? When was this? When did this happen?
The motion that was brought in 2021 was to re-examine this case. It was the motion that you brought. You're the one that filed this motion.
And what happened with
that motion? That motion was dismissed.
Okay, so me reporting child abuse and that CPS was covering for crimes and my daughter had bruises in an environment, they dismissed that.
Ma'am, I'm not sure exactly.
I don't know. Did they not put it in the case because I haven't been able to go to court? I don't know what's happening and people aren't getting charges. I don't get my records. They don't tell me anything. So I guess you guys, you have more power than me. I can't know.
Ma'am, you can tell the records department that you want.
But if you're looking at the record, why do I have to keep paying for records and it's a secret?
It's not a secret, though.
Well, I'm asking you, how is it possible for me to report child abuse to the court and then they dismiss it?
That I don't know. I can get you down to the law library, man.
Okay, so you said that it's not missing. So when they said that the case was dismissed in July, it has changed to actually it happened in July of 2023, and they dismissed my case and not the dad's case. Because it's so many different stories, it's hard for me to keep track. I came in, and they told me that it was dismissed when Judge Mary Beecham and Kim Cooks didn't want their charges. Then I could not report to the police. I didn't have access. And then it has changed. Your story has changed. You said that you meant in July 11th of 2020 what?
2023.
2023. So when did I report to the when did I report anything? Because I was in Fort Worth.
Ma'am, I don't know. You filed a motion.
But if I can't tell you guys that you're falsifying documentation, you're looking at the record.
Ma'am, you filed a motion April 8th of 2021.
So they jumped to 2023 and dismissed it?
They kept the case open from 2021 all the way up to July 11th of 2023, and that's when they finally dismissed it.
Okay, they kept it open. What did they do with it?
Nothing, ma'am. There was nothing else filed into this case.
So 2021, I filed it, and they waited 2 years later to. I don't know how to get. I mean, if everywhere I'm at is covering for crimes and won't give me my records, it's impossible. Ma'am, it's impossible if people never get their charges.
Ma'am, I'm going to go ahead and transfer you to my supervisor, okay? Give me 1 second, okay?
Well, they're not going to get my records. It hasn't happened in all this time. They're not going to be honest with me. This is confirmation that they received it. It's just whining and complaining. It is what it is. These people just. Yeah, I know the distinctive pattern when someone has a issue and are caught, when criminal activity is exposed, I have to repeatedly get transferred year after year. So I'm not allowed to any knowledge or be privy on anything going on with multiple different cases, records, which I thought was criminal, but yet nothing's repeatedly done. So I'm not quite certain on what to do because I've never met Judge Mary Murphy that took bribes to terminate my rights, and nobody will take that report, including the police department and CPS and the family court. So what
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not quite. What is the expectation? Can I know? Because I don't never met her. Am I allowed to know what happened and what con that she has, or will I be deprived of that even longer? I don't know why you
So let
guys
me,
terminated my rights without a CPS investigation. You don't have your lie straight on why you did it. I requested records and none of it is in it. There's no reporter.
yes, ma'am. Let me make sure I have the correct case pulled up. That's D,
That's correct.
and I'm speaking with Miss Clark.
That's correct.
These documents.
Okay, I'm sorry. What was your name?
Now, my name is Alex. I'm the family court supervisor.
Okay.
Um,
Well, the
so
problem
looking
of
at
it
the doc,
is because policies and protocols wasn't followed. I have no clue, and someone terminated someone. There's no reporter for the family court to have terminated my rights. No one reported abuse to you guys.
okay, so do you
Who
have a
for who?
time for,
What allegations they said neglect, but no one reported neglect to you. So there's no records, and how am I going to get records that don't exist?
so are you looking at a document where it states that your parental rights have been terminated?
I
Do you
needed
have
that
that in front of you?
document, and then there's no document of any reporter for you to terminate my rights. There's no reporter
Well, I'm
on any
trying,
of these files of any abuse.
okay, yes, ma'am. So how do you know that there's been something in the case that's been filed against you? Are you looking at the document right in front of you?
Now, I'm just saying, if I'm speaking with the records department and I wasn't able to appear at court and plead my innocence or defend myself, how would you guys? Who is the reporter for me to defend myself? I don't know what the allegation is. They're saying that something about in brief records that it's some kind of neglect, but there's no reporter of neglect. And if
Okay.
you guys are refusing to tell me who the reporter is for me to defend myself, then this continues to go on. There no one reported abuse to you guys. You
So my,
have.
my suggestion would be to visit the Dallas County Law Library. They have attorneys
I'm
that
just. I don't
are
really. I'm
they're
really not
available.
getting. How can I request a record if you don't have it? Why would you rob me getting the law library is not going to help me figure out why you terminated my rights and there's no reporter of abuse on your records? If I the
Right.
law library, if I already went to the law library, they can't tell me why you don't have your records and punish me and call security and mistreat me when I come to ask for records. I've already
Yes,
been
ma'am.
there.
So
But if I'm on the line with the records department and I'm seeking gave you this fraudulent report and there's no reporter on your records, I mean, what am I
so
to do with that if you don't have anyone reporting abuse to you?
what report are you referring to, and
Any
what
kind of
date
abuse,
did
I
you have?
never was able to defend myself against allegations because they don't know what the allegations are.
Right. And so what document are you referring
I
to
don't
so I
know.
can
All
look
I
at
want
it?
to know, I thought that it was vital and a requirement for the family court to give me information on what the allegations were against me to terminate my rights, but the family court failed to do it and then demanded that I get records that don't exist. And right now, I'm on the line with the family court and the records department, and I have a right to know legally why you terminated my rights, but you guys won't furnish it. You have no reporter of abuse on your records, period.
So I'm just trying to figure out what document you're referring to, ma'am,
I
and
don't
what
know.
date
You're
that was.
looking at the records. Don't I have a right to know what abuse report allegation was against me?
You can, but that would be a question for the records department. I don't
I don't.
work for
Who are
them.
you? I don't know what you are.
I shared that with you earlier when you asked me who were you speaking with.
Oh, so you're not the records department?
No, ma'am.
Like my time is repeatedly wasted. So
Let
what
me
do you
give
do?
you their phone number.
What do you do?
I'm the family courts supervisor, not for the records department. The
So
records
are
department
you
holds
able, maybe they
different.
thought that you could tell me, since the document is missing and there's no reporter of abuse, what do I do with that the court has no reporter of abuse that on file?
Right, so that's why I asked if you have a date of the document that you're referring to, so I can see if I can search
It don't
it.
exist. What do I do if the record, if it does exist, the record department won't give it to me? From what my understanding, because the records have never furnished you, my child custody rights were terminated, and there is no reporter of abuse. Period.
So what you probably want to do is ask for the docket sheet of the case, and then that's going to give you a listing of everything that's been filed, and then you can determine which document you need them to print for you. But you need to request a docket sheet first.
I don't. Here's the problem: if you are the gatekeeper of the records, and I'm asking for the record of who the reporter is, and since you don't, there's no reporter, and people don't want to get charges, and they refuse to give me the documentation, it's impossible. If your records and you repeatedly defraud me out of funds and scam to keep me from records and cause security and violate me, I can't combat it.
I
I
can't
don't think
speak
that I
to
should
that.
be
I've
punished because you guys
I've
can't
never
furnish the
called
records
I've never
in
called
corruption and criminal
security on you.
activity.
Again, I can't speak for that because I've never met you, or I don't believe I've spoken to you
But I don't know
before.
what to do if you are aware that if someone's child custody rights were terminated and did the family code wasn't followed because they terminated someone's rights and there's no reporter of abuse.
So I'm going to give you the phone number to the records department, and then you can contact them and see if they can get you a docket sheet.
See if
Okay,
they
that
can get
number
it.
is 214.
See if they can get it, sir.
I'm sorry?
They won't because they don't have to.
Here's this number: 214-653-6076.
Can you transfer me?
Yes, ma'am. I'll transfer you now.
Okay.
One moment. Cisco Unity Connection Messaging System. From a touch-tone telephone, you may dial an
Yes.
extension at any time. For a directory of extensions, press 4. Not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.